How are you, my people? This is Rokan David, and I'm here to bring you the match preview for Manchester United versus Arsenal. And the video recorded in the morning, most of you are like, Rokani, what is your take onto this game? And I told you, please relax and float. I'm going to be coming up and obviously presenting to you the best of the best into the mix. Smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun to the fullest. So right now we are into the mix, and we are going to be discussing Arsenal hosting Manchester United at the Emirates on the side of Manchester United. For those that really want to obviously see me discuss Arsenal side, Rokan Media Football is the place to be. So here we come into this beautiful game of football to obviously get you the best of the best that you people really go ahead and obviously deserve, and we're here to obviously present to you what you people really think the world is all about, especially this beautiful game of football. Way back, this was one of the biggest games, right? Because United and Arsenal took close to, let me see, 1997, 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. So they took close to 8 seasons when they are competing for the league, when those two were loggerheads, so we are head to head competing for that trophy. But in the recent past, Arsenal have really shown huge intent to compete for trophies, and the previous 2 seasons they've been the team that has been giving Man City a run for their trophies, for the Premier League trophy. You understand? Manchester United have fallen off the cliff, into the worst form of life ever possible. So as we talk right now, United is in the top 10, you understand, and they are 9th with 19 points, and Arsenal is having 25 points, meaning that if Arsenal beat Manchester United, they'll be 8 points ahead of Manchester United. If Man United beats Arsenal, they'll close into Arsenal and they'll be 2 points behind Arsenal. But Arsenal gets to the encounter knowing that they are 9 points behind Liverpool. And if they miss out onto this opportunity of really collecting 3 points, then they'll find themselves in a position of really seeing Liverpool going 12 points ahead of them, because Liverpool is playing Newcastle tomorrow, a game that can go either sides. But if you are Arsenal, what you would want to see is get those 3 points in, to see to it that you obviously keep the title race alive. And if Liverpool go 12 points, ahead of Arsenal, I think they would have gone ahead to obviously put it to another level, because they are now 11 ahead of Man City. So that's how Liverpool have gone ahead to obviously take this. So this game is really very important to both sides. For Manchester United, they want to obviously get close to those teams in the top 4. And to it that the team in the 4th position, if you look at the 4th position, is having 22 points, and that is none other than Brighton, right? So if United win, they'll be 1 point behind Brighton, provided Brighton obviously goes ahead and obviously doesn't really do the needful. You understand? So we are here to obviously see how things are really going to be panning out into the season today. Now, smash the like button, comment, and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So how many likes on this video? 200 likes should be smashed on this video. Let's go to the team news. Okay, before we go to the team news, last weekend, Arsenal beat West Ham by 5 goals to 2. United beat Everton by 4 goals to 0. So Arsenal is back in shape, because ever since they went from the international break, they've gone ahead to win 3 of the 3 games they've gone ahead to participate in. They beat Nottingham by 3 goals to 0. They beat Sporting Lisbon, formerly managed by Ruben Amorim, 5-1, and they beat West Ham by 5 goals to 2. What does that mean? It means that they haven't gone ahead to drop any points, and they've been really putting in a shift. Now, for Man United, Ipswich 1-1, Bordeaux 3-2, Everton 4-0. But if you watched my match preview, I told you I was not convinced with how we played, because for the first 30 minutes, if we are playing an elite team, according to the number of balls that we really gave away in the central axis of the pitch, it would have gone ahead to be like 3-0 in like 15 minutes. And I was really so shocked when I really heard Amorim say we started on very well and later we lost it a little bit, but we scored goals. And I'm like, the fact is, our start was really worrying. That is it. Our start was really worrying, and I'm here to obviously tell you that it's not going to be an easy game at the Emirates. And United is welcoming Leniero back. I think amongst the players that have been injured, he's the only one who is really back. Lindelof Victor, I've not heard anything about him. You understand? He's really out. But the rest of the players are readily available. Lisandro Martinez and Kobe Mainoo are out of this game because they've got suspensions after accumulating the required yellow cards to miss out on a game. So they're out. For Arsenal, Partey is doubtful, but I know he's really going to be available. Gabriel Magalhaes, he really was taken off, but I know he's really going to be available. Tomiyasu, I think, is the hugest absentee into that club of Arsenal. And the rest of the players are readily available. I know even Mikel Merino will be up for picks into this beautiful fixture of United versus Arsenal, meaning that no team is going to come up here and really say we really have very many injuries, because most of these players have gone to welcome back their players. Like Manchester United, Harry Maguire is back, meaning that however much Lisandro Martinez is out, Harry Maguire is back, and we are going to see how we think the manager is really going to be lining up into that beautiful game of football. So obviously, you anticipate that there is going to be a battle of dominancy, and I think Ruben Amorim is going to surrender the dominancy to Arsenal, and he's really going to play the system of 3-4-2-1, but with a little bit of a low block in respect to Arsenal, and obviously hitting them on the break. I think is really going to be the plan for the club of Manchester United, and obviously pressing them a lot and see to it that they really win those balls in perfect positions. That's what I think the plan of Ruben Amorim is going to be. For Mikel Arteta, his plan is known. He's going to come to attack Manchester United left, right, and center. You understand? He's going to come to attack United left, right, and center to see to it that everything really moves on into the best way possible. So, Arsenal is in fluid form, I can tell you. When you look at how they play, they're really great, and they're really doing the due diligence, and the best of the best is yet to come from them. Now, let's get into the probable starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. The hardest thing to predict is a Ruben Amorim full 11. You can obviously get 7-8 players right, but the other players are really hard to guess because of the way he obviously rotates his team. Obviously, one of the positions that is really solid right now that you can bet on is the goalkeeping department of Andriy Onana. That's a position that it's his, and he has gone ahead to obviously show us that he's really worth it. And for Andriy Onana, he needs to fight hard to see to it that obviously keeps a clean sheet, something that's really going to be hard at the Emirates, but he did it in the game of Everton. He fought for his clean sheet and really got it after saving that free header of Calvert-Lewin, and he's really one of those goalkeepers that is going to have to evolve into the best goalkeepers in the league. And in this game of Arsenal, he'll have to be at high alert. I tell you, he has to be at high alert, because if he doesn't, Arsenal is really going to be all over us. I tell you, Arsenal is going to be all over the club of Manchester United. If you know, you know. Now, after that, let's go to the right side of the three-man central defense. Obviously, having gone ahead to be rested a little bit, and he got some rest, Mazarawi is really going to be played onto the right side of the three-man central defense. That is really my thought about it, and I know it's not really going to change unless otherwise he is not really past fit. But if he's past fit, I tell you what, he's really going to find himself in a position of really doing the needful to obviously get us to where we want to be. But his qualities defensively and offensively are really great, and these are kind of games where you need players like Mazraoui. Defensively, good. Going forward, right. Inverting into the midfield, he does it very well. And When he's in defense, he plays as a defender. When he really reaches the midfield, he plays as a midfielder, and he's not afraid of really risking, he's that risk player that doesn't even go ahead to obviously intervene with the role of Dalo. Sorry, the role of, what's the name of the guy? He doesn't intervene the role of Amadi Diallo because he leaves the out wide right area to the touchline for him to enjoy the space. And for him, he obviously plays into that right half space, and the half that space is the space between, you see that center dot, and you see that circle, right? That's where he really plays, meaning that he's really very technically gifted, and he's one of those modern center backs that you'll obviously want to see. Left-sided center back with Lisandro Martinez out, who is really going to be a very big miss. Obviously, Luke Shaw is really going to be taking center stage to obviously come up and replace Lisandro Martinez into this game of football. And the big question is he ready to play full 90 minutes? Because in this system, it's effective when you're playing a left player or a left-footed player onto the left side of the three-man central defense. So that's going to be the real question. And is he really having the required fitness to obviously come and really tussle it out? That's another question that has to be answered by Luke Shaw. And you wouldn't like to obviously test all what we've gone ahead to obviously talk about him when he's facing Bukayo Saka, and the entire side of Arsenal has shifted from really making overloads onto the left side of the pitch to the right side of the pitch. That's where Arsenal really goes ahead obviously get most of its goals, and they're really going to be overloading that side. So Ruben Amorim needs to obviously come up with a plan to stop the Arsenal in that side. At the center, though Lenioro is back, I think Matthias De Ligt is really going to be played into that position as the central defender, playing between Luke Shaw and Mazarawi, whom you can refer to as a defender playing at the center or in the middle of the three-man central defense. For the communication between Luke Shaw and Matthias De Ligt, I think they had some minutes together. I saw them have some minutes together. I think, is it twice, right? And obviously, we'll be waiting to see what the manager is really going to be doing into that beautiful game. But I think that's going to be our back three in there. Now, the most questionable position in the Ruben Amorim era is the double pivot. But before we go to the double pivot, let's go to other player. Let's first put in other positions that we know the manager has gone ahead obviously sought. Right wing back, no doubts about him. He's Amadi Diallo. 5 assists this season, and 3 of those have gone ahead obviously come under Ruben Amorim. And in the game of Ipswich, he got 1 assist. In the game of Everton, he got 2 assists. That is Amadi Diallo for you. And there is no way the manager is not going to put him on the field of play, because we know that he's the special player that we don't have at Manchester United. His creativity is out of this world. That is Amadi Diallo onto the right wing back. And we know that he's really going to be having a busy day, because that is the side where the likes of Gabriel Martinelli are really going to find themselves really trying to really manipulate the space between Mazarawi and Amadi Diallo. But I'm a little bit strong on that side because Mazarawi is 100% match fit. He's fast, and he's a player that you cannot easily go past. Left wing back. This is where Amadi Diallo is really going to be coming in through to put in a required shift altogether into the system. I tell you, he's really going to come up to obviously put in the required shift altogether as a player in this system, because we all know that he is really good. And all we have to understand about Diego Dallo is his communication with Luke Shaw is really going to be important in this system, because that space between Luke Shaw and Dallo was used a lot to obviously see to it that the side of Arsenal annihilate Sporting Lisbon. All the 5 goals they put past Sporting Lisbon came from that left side. So with the attack of Saka, Julian Timber, and Martin Odegaard all overloading that side, we need to obviously come up with a plan to obviously stop that. So, at the look of that, I see to it that we can really try to improve the communication between these two. But Dalot is obviously going to be a player there. Now, the double pivot, one of the players I believe is going to be into this double pivot is none other than Manuel Ugarte. I believe the manager resting him for the game of Everton and brought him on later when he took off Casemiro was a signature or a sign or a message being sent to him that you are going to start in the game of Arsenal. And I think he wanted him to partner with Kobbie Mainoo because the plan was playing him with Kobbie Mainoo into that fixture of Arsenal, into the double pivot. But because Kobbie Mainoo went ahead, obviously get a yellow card, he's out of this encounter. And that really leaves us with a very big question mark. Who is really going to be partnering Manuel Ugarte? And for that, I think you have to think of Casemiro because we are playing away from home, and us playing away from home will really cause loads and loads and lots of problems if at all we don't have a double pivot that really has experience a little bit and obviously having mobility. We all know that Casemiro is going to obviously fall off the pace a little bit, but you cannot come out and really downplay. You cannot come out and obviously downplay. You cannot come out and obviously downplay his experience and being a big game winner into this game of football and us needing him to the fullest. So that is Manuel Ugarte and Casemiro. I expect them to play in the double pivot. Now, the two number 10s that Ruben Amorim uses, we know one who is a constant, and that is Bruno Fernandes, bagging in 2 assists in the game we played against Everton, and he's really going to be one of those representing to the fullest for the club of Manchester United in this encounter, right? Now, who is really going to be playing alongside him? Joshua Zirkzee? I don't think so. Garnacho? Maybe. Marcus Rashford? I don't think so because he played 90 minutes when you're playing against Everton, and this game of football is really going to be needing what we call a high press. I think the manager is really going to be bringing a player who really went ahead, obviously winning very many balls into the final third of the opponent under Erik ten Hag, that is Mason Mount. And just to it that he played him for a few minutes. And the beauty with Mason Mount is he's a big game winner. And in a game like this, you'll need that engine of Mason Mount to press this opponent and run like a headless chicken onto that pitch. You get? So, I really understand that Mount is really going to be getting minutes in. And who is going to be leading the line? Is it Marcus Rashford? I think no. Rasmus Hojlund cannot be benched for 2 consecutive games, I think. He rested him for full 90 minutes, one of the unused substitutes, because he wanted him to obviously be ready for this encounter between Manchester United and Arsenal. And that's how I believe Ruben Amorim is really going to be partnering or lining up as we take on Arsenal tomorrow. A lineup that is not bad, but it needs not to make any mistake if you are to really get 3 points at the club of Arsenal. That is it. So that's how I believe you're really going to be lining up as a club of Manchester United, and I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below. Who do you leave in? Who do you leave out? Let's go to the head-to-head stats. Arsenal have won their last 3 Premier League games against Manchester United. They've never won 4 in a row against the Red Devils in their history. You've heard that very well. And how do the 3 come up? The previous season of 2022-2023, they beat us at Emirates by 3-2. Then, last season, they beat us at Emirates 3-1. They came out of Trafford, they beat us by 1-0. And now, if they win us, they would have gone ahead obviously win us 4 games in a row for the very first time. Secondly, Man United have lost 7 of their last 9 Premier League away games against Arsenal. 1 win, 1 draw, and a winless in 6 visits to Emirates. 1 draw, 5 losses, losing the last 3 in a row. I've gone ahead to obviously count you those games we've gone ahead to lose in a row. And to add on to the one to make it 3 in the Premier League. You remember that game when Ralf Rangnick was the manager of Manchester United interim? Ronaldo scored. It was 2-0. Ronaldo pulled one back, and then Granit Xhaka came up and obviously pulled the trigger outside the 10 yards box area, and it was 3-1. You know, Ronaldo had just buried his son, I think, on one of his twins died. I think on Thursday, Sunday he came up. I think Saturday he came up and obviously even scored a goal. But we couldn't obviously win that game. I think it was Saka, Nuno Tavares, and Granit Xhaka on target. Now, those are the 3 games we're going to hit to lose in a row at Emirates, you know. So we are waiting to see. Thirdly, Arsenal's last 3 Premier League home games against Manchester United have seen them win 3-1, 3-2, 3-1. I've just told you that. The last team to score 3+ goals in more consecutive home league games against the Red Devils were the Gunners themselves, who did so 7 times in a row, 1970 and 1978. You understand? Arsenal is really having a very upper hand in this. Second, lastly, Arsenal have won just 2 of their 17 evening kickoffs. You know, 17 or later against Manchester United. The Premier League, they've drawn in 9 and they've lost 6, though one of those was in their recent such match game in January 2020, 2-0. Lastly, Manchester United have won 6 of their last 7 midweek Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Premier League games, with 1 loss, with these games producing 38 goals in total. You understand? 23 and 15. That is it. So, one other stat that they forgot obviously to talk about is that Manchester United under Erik ten Hag have just gone ahead to beat one London team away. You understand? And that has been Fulham. You get? We haven't beaten Crystal Palace. You haven't beaten Brentford. We haven't beaten Chelsea. We haven't beaten Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur away in London. So London teams have been really very hard for our manager to obviously beat. My prediction, I see an Arsenal win, but if United really does the best, I think the best result we can get from this game is a draw. But I see an Arsenal win written all over this game of football, and the best result for us to get is really gonna be a draw. If we obviously register a win, it will come in as a shocker, and I'll give Ruben Amorim his flowers. But I think it's gonna be one of the hardest games that we're really gonna be playing under the Ruben Amorim era. 3rd game of the Premier League, and I think the players will obviously put in a shift. The new manager bounce might play a very huge part into the results that we're obviously going to be getting in this encounter, but that's my thought about this game of football. So guys, go into the comment section, tell me your thoughts about this beautiful game of football. Smash like button close to 200 times. Do not forget to obviously subscribe, because we want to hit 20,000 subscribers. Not so. So that's what I had for you in here for you. Many of you have been waiting for this. It has finally arrived, and I'm going to be doing the side of Arsenal onto the Rokhani Media Football. So find me there tomorrow morning. That's when the combined 11 is going to be coming up. And to be very sincere, I'm like, which United player gets into the Arsenal starting 11? You know, that is the huge question in here for you. So guys, I sign out. 5-finger salute to all of you watching in, and thank you for obviously keeping it United Matters channel. Second video of the day. I think you're gonna hit to enjoy it, and the 3rd one is coming, and the 4th one will come, and so on and so forth. Bye bye for now.